Welcome, Charlie Daniels,
Thank
to
you
our
very much.
show.
Glad to be here.
You know, I have to tell you, it's really cool for me to be able to talk to you, Christian to Christian. Because back in the 70s, when I was a teen, I would go to many of your concerts. And you were always in a class of your own, by the way.
Well, thank you.
But also back then, Christ was certainly not preeminent in my life or in my mind. And what about you?
No, not really. I mean, not. He should have been. I've always been a believer, but I was raised in a Christian home. But I got way off the path for a long time.
So what brought you back?
He did. It never leaves you alone, you know.
That's right.
It just kind of keeps on, and I don't know. I just got the feeling like I needed to get my life straightened out. I'm still trying to do that. I'm a work in progress.
We all are.
Yeah.
What was some of the reactions of your music colleagues when your life made this turnaround?
I have, like I say, I've always been a believer. I mean, I've never made a secret of that at all. It's just been, you know, myself and a lot of people kind of changed at the same time. I mean, not necessarily that we're going in a direction of Christianity so much, but, you know, I mean, as far as being any kind of wild and all the partying and all that stuff, it just comes a time when it doesn't mean anything to you. It's kind of empty, you know. And, you know, I'm not good at chronology. I couldn't tell you when or, you know, whatever, but that's just kind of how it happened.
Well, you have over 40 albums, and it says you've been road dogging, as they call it, for 30 years, with no signs of slowing down.
I hope not.
Wow, that's awesome. And you're raising your patriotic voice again with songs such as The Last Fallen Hero and This Ain't No Rag, It's a Flag. Now, that was recorded after the September 11th tragedy.
Right. Yeah.
And also, I heard that demand for that single virtually shut down your website.
Well, it was, what happened was we had recorded an album before 9/11, and then I wrote the song after 9/11, and it was we put it on the album, but it took a good while to get it on there. Right. I mean, we had to go back, we had to back up and push. So what we did, we had a whole bunch of singles pressed up to sell along with the album, but one of the few places you could get it was our website. And we had a tremendous demand for the album and the single on the website at that time. Also,
traditionally, Southern rock tends to speak out boldly, and you really do. Yet you have a way of uniting people.
Well, I'm a very patriotic person. I just I have very strong feelings about this country and about the direction we're headed in, and about you know, where we came from. And there's a lot of problems in our nation right now, and one of the biggest problems to me is people are not willing to face the problems that we have. I see that bunch of idiots in Washington, not all of them. That's not a blanket indictment, but because some good people up there. There are people up there, like the senator, the congressman that went to Iraq the other day and said, "Oh, everything's fine over here." He can't see past his nose.
I know.
He's an idiot. And I don't take that word very lightly, but I will sit here and tell you, this guy is an idiot. If he thinks that Saddam Hussein has not got stuff hidden over there, and if we listen to people like him, we're going to sit back, we're going to see somebody trying to drop a nuclear war on Israel, and then all hell is going to break loose. We may see Ezekiel 38 and 39 coming true in our lifetime. As a good possibility of it, I think. I think all the pieces are in place for it, or almost all the pieces are in place. And I'm not a Bible prophet, and I'm certainly not predicting a time. But what I'm saying is, this guy hates Israel, as does everybody else in the Middle East. And if we leave that situation alone, and he starts that, you can forget it. I mean, it's all over with. Israel's not going to sit back and be bombed anymore. They've had it. It's just like the Holocaust. They say never again. I think they feel the same way about this situation. They showed a lot of restraint during the Gulf War. They stayed out of it, even though they had missiles shot at them. This time it's not going to happen. So we had better take care of this situation before this guy gets the capabilities of shooting those things over into Tel Aviv, or we're going to all be sorry. And I'll say that to any congressman, any senator, any president, any preacher, any pacifist, anybody in the world. I will say this: either we get Saddam Hussein out of power, or he's going to cause more problems than we can possibly handle.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you speaking up for this.
Well, it's the truth. And from my point of view, it's the truth, and the truth is the lowest common denominator there is. You can't go any further than that. Once you get to the truth, everything else falls away, and in my feeling, that's true.
Do you get a lot of flack, though, for speaking out?
Oh, I get somebody like, you know, Alan Combs or somebody who tries to come out and say, you know, he asks me about things, you know, but he's a nice guy, but, you know, it's like we come at things from a different perspective. These people live in Gaga land.
Yes.
I mean, they live in a fantasy land.
Yeah.
They're not willing. That's what political correctness is you don't face the truth.
Right.
You hide behind semantics and stuff, and you find a hole big enough to stick your head in when somebody, it's like everything is what you call it. It's not what it is. It's what you call it. It's what it is from your point of view. It's a bunch of junk, and it's messing this country up. And I wish people would realize that, because it's very shallow, it's very empty, and it means nothing, and it's a detriment to the United States.
You're absolutely right. Talking about patriotism, do you think sometimes, though, that patriotism overshadows God, or our faith in God, our relationship and devotion to God?
I think patriotism, to me, and godliness go hand in hand. I mean, you can be patriotic to something like a regime a repressive regime like they got in China. I mean, that goes against God to me. It goes against God the way the Arabic nations treat their women.
That's right.
I mean, there's nothing in my Bible that says anything about, we don't have a right to treat women that way. Nobody has a right to treat women that way, yet they do it.
Right.
And they say it's right in their religion. Well, they don't serve the same God I do. There's two, Allah and Jehovah are not the same.
That's right.
And people will tell you they are, but they're not. Allah is the moon god. Was chosen out of, it used to be we don't have time to get into that, but you can look it up on the internet. Take my word for it.
All right, our next show we'll do this for sure.
But it's not, my God don't advocate, treating people that way.
That's
my God
right.
don't advocate killing innocent women and children. My
He
God is a
elevates.
God of love, and this Allah and Jehovah are two different gods. No matter who tells you they are, I know they say that we all came from Abraham. We all, but it ain't that way.
You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, this is great to be hearing this from you, from someone that everyone knows and can respect and look up to your opinion, even if they don't agree with you.
Well,
can you tell us just really briefly also about your song and video in America?
yeah, I did in America after the Iranian Hostage crisis. It was a reawakening of patriotism I never thought I'd see again.
Right.
And it just, the lines came where you never did think that it ever would happen again, but it's happening now because people are mad about what happened in Iran. And they're showing it, they're talking about it, and it's happening. So it's happening in America. And,
Well, speaking about America, you tour a lot, and in fact, you were twice voted the Academy of Country Music's Touring Band of the Year. So you get to visit a lot of different type of people in America. What is your overall reflection of America and the attitude of the people right now?
I don't think the attitude of the American people is being reflected in the major media. When I listen to Peter Jennings, it's like he's talking about a different country than the one that I know.
Wow.
Because America is, for the basic part, is patriotic, totally politically incorrect. Of course, that doesn't get paraded across the screens of ABC, NBC, and CBS. It's like everybody's politically correct. Everybody loves Hillary Clinton. Everybody likes Bill Clinton. Everybody, and it ain't that way. I mean, not from where I come from. And where I go.
I want to say how wonderful and how evident of God's grace for you to come kind of full circle with your latest release, which is How Sweet the Sound.
Yeah.
And that is you making a joyful noise to the Lord. You said you wanted to do traditional gospel music, but not in the standard way.
Well, we don't do anything in the standard way.
That's right, you don't.
It's been done in the standard way before, so it's time to...
It's awesome.
We want thank you very much.
I love
appreciate
it. And I just wanted to conclude by saying a quote that you did, and you said that you are an outcast, and you can't be anybody but you.
That's right.
So who is Charlie Daniels?
I'm just me. What you see is what you get. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you. I can sit here, and if you ask me specifics about how I felt or believed about things, I could tell you, but I don't really have I admire honesty. I admire friendship. I love my friends very deeply. I admire people who have the guts to stand up and say what they believe. I admire patriotism. I admire humanity. And I love everybody,
Well, Charlie, you are...
There's a lot of people I don't like, but I love everybody.
You are a legend to us,
Well, thank you.
and you are a wonderful man. God bless you.
God bless you,
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.